everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Is It Worth It?, where I go around the artistic world trying to find supplies and materials and review them so that you don't have to waste your time or money trying to figure out whether they are going to make you happy or if they're going to make you a faster, more productive artist. So I'm trying to save you from that headache, and hopefully this information will be helpful to you. And if it is, please give the video a like, share it, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Alright, so today I'm actually reviewing a birthday gift. So last month was my birthday, and I've gotten these markers and I haven't tried them yet. And so it's time to look at these Arrtx alcohol-based markers. And first thing I have to say, like, look at that, it's in this really cool marker box. It's got a cool picture on the front, right? It's got this cool carrying case. Right, so it's actually kind of nice. They put everything in this nice little box, and I'm really looking forward to looking in the box and seeing what's happening and see if they're worth it, because they actually were not a lot of money. So you can get a ton of markers for a little bit of money, and if they are good, then this will be a great alternative for, you know, your Copics or your Shinhan touch markers. You know, if you find something that is comparable, then great, and you can give it to, you know, your budding artists, or if you're just trying out, if you're trying to be a hobby artist or whatnot, you can try these instead, and then once you're ready to upgrade, you can upgrade to the more professional stuff. But this might be it. You might not need anything else. So let's go find out. Alright, so once again, I just wanted to show you this really cool cover, right? So it's in a nice little box, although, alright, so it's on a little latch system, nothing too secure, but it's there, right? Alright, let's see. I'm gonna give you a nice little postcard in the box, right? So you can draw a little something if you want to. Nice little postcard. What else we got here? Thank you. Contact information, we'll leave that. Now see, this I like. Alright, so there you go. So it instantly gives you the color sheet. So you can actually fill this in so you can actually see the color, right? One of the big things that I have is that I always got to make it, and you know, I'm still going over like, oh, well, this is what my color is going to look like. So having this kind of color sheet is awesome, right? So you can just have this, put it up against the wall or something, and be like, all right, these are the colors, this is what it's going to look like. That's always a plus. So plus there for you, Arrtx. So there are 80 colors, and these colors kind of look like they're everywhere. I think that there is, you know, you can find some colors that will actually blend with each other, but I have to say it would have been nice if they would have put these all together, right? So my warm grays, I see there's some warm grays in here, some blue grays. I guess that's supposed to count as the cool gray. Nope, there's cool grays right there. Oh, there's one, two. No, okay, so there's the odd number cool grays, even number warm grays, and then some blue grays, and then just an array of different colors. Got some nice vibrant ones here. Alright, so let's break into it and see what happens. We'll put these over here, I guess, so you can see, or up here. There we go. We'll put them up there. Alright, I guess let's just go grab one. Alright, so first off, it's a it's kind of like a rounded triangular shape. So there's these little edges to make it easier to hold, so no matter where you hold it, it's flat up against your finger. So that's good, right? And then it's got a nice click to it. Right? So that's nice. The snaps on there, it's really good. So let's see what it can do here. Flows fairly nicely. Right? Goes over it. Ink comes out pretty solid. And that red's actually pretty nice. It two kind of bullets at the top, right? does kind of bullet at the top a little bit, but if you're using these for alcohol-based markers, you know, you're going to be going over it and filling stuff in, so that's good. So I mean, so far, these are actually pretty decent. All right, we'll see what happens once they dry, but you know. Okay, so this is not the color that I thought it was going to be, but you know, as you can see, these come out really nice. I mean, once you go over it, you know, it gets really dark. So you got to know that if you're going to try and hit it with like one pass, it's going to be a lot lighter. And then, you know, as far as what I try and do and make sure that the colors come in, you got to definitely, you know, cake it on there to see what the actual colors are going to be. So knowing that they'll get darker is pretty important. But since there are so many of them, right, there's so many colors that I just don't foresee you having a problem, you know, blending these up. But you do, I think that's why you definitely need that color chart, because you can, you know, you can see that they get a lot darker after that first pass. So, but there's so many colors. I mean, there's 80 colors in this box. Right? But I can instantly see that there's going to be a nice, you can get a very nice transition with these markers. I'm going to see if there's one more. Yeah, nah, we'll just do this. Alright, so I should. Alright, so if we. Just. Now, these are chisel and bullet, you know, so if you're a brush type person, these are not it, obviously. But, you know, wait till it dries a little bit. Okay. Wait till that dries a little bit. Oh, man, these blend. These blend really nice. Can't remember which one was the darker one. So then you should just be able to go. I may have just made everything way too dark. But you know, you go over the light one. Wow. So you can get, I mean, that's very, very subtle. Like, you might not even be able to really tell that. That's very subtle. So hold on. Let's try that again. Okay. So we're going to do this one. All right. Okay. I'm going to let it dry just for a hot second. All right. Go over it. If all the colors are like this and they blend like that, then these are actually fantastic markers, because then you can get these very subtle blends. You get these very, very subtle blends with a chisel tip marker. Oh, look, even when that's drying, look at how nice. Look at that. That is one nice transition. And even here, you know, once it starts drying, you know, this one's lighter, right? But you can start, you see the transition here, but when I went over that other one, I just went over it. You got such a subtle transition. That's really nice. That's really nice. So if you got the colors, like if you find that transition, you find the colors you need, you can just nicely blend that out. That is nice. Alright, let's try these. Alright, let's go to a different color. We're going to try green. Blue-green, I guess. But, you know, there's nothing really fancy about these. I mean, it works. The bullet works just fine. The chisel tip is working real nice. I think the colors definitely do come out darker just in general than the actual pen is telling you it is. So that is something you'd have to watch out for. Right? That would be the one thing so far that I have to say is it's probably the biggest issue right now, is that the colors come out a little bit darker than, well, not a little bit, they come out significantly darker than the color actually suggests. So, you know, as long as you are aware that they come out dark, and if you use the chart pack, you know, that's telling you, it's like, hey, this is what this color is, right? Then you should be absolutely fine. I'm gonna try one more green because there's a lot of greens in here. So there's a lot of colors. There's definitely a lot of colors to choose from when it comes to this. Alright, so we're gonna go like that. Alright, we're gonna try a three blend, because see, with that, like, now that this one's dried a little bit, like right here you can see the division, but this one right here, right, going over it with a lighter color one more time makes that a real nice transition. Alright. Let it dry a little bit, just a little bit. Might be too big of a jump. There's still some other markers that are in the thing that would probably make that transition just a little bit better. But we're gonna try it. We're just gonna play around with it and see if we can make a nice transition with these four colors. All right. We may have just gotten really, really lucky with the orange. Or I just picked the right colors. Alright, I think this one should have went first. I was like, I think this one should have went first, but that's okay. Alright, so we have that, right? Then we're gonna take this light green and we're gonna go over everything one more time. Right, all over where all those transitions happen. And let that dry a little bit. I think that I just need to find the right colors as far as the greens. I think with the oranges it was really easy. Right, we just found some nice oranges that work together. Alright, you can just come in on top of that. I mean, it's not bad. I do believe that I didn't find the right greens. Right? So, not that big a deal, I don't think. So they don't have, let's see, 3, 5, and 7. Alright, so we'll try these. Alright, so these are the blue grays. We're going to try these out. Just going to... And so there is a significant jump, right, from 3 to 5. But think about if you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, right? So, but we're going to try these out. Yeah, I think there's too big of a jump. At least with these, there's too big of a jump between this. But I think that, you know, you can find, because this is, as it's drying, you can start seeing you can start seeing how it blends. The only issue that I'm seeing now is that once it dries, do you guys see those little dots? I don't know if you can see them. Oh, there, that's better. Right? So you can see where it's just pulling up on some things, so it's not going over it too many times. It doesn't necessarily like that as much. Yeah, okay, so I think that the transition itself, I think we're going to be happy with the orange, right? It's like, oh, these oranges, they transitioned really well. I think that this is actually working too. As it's drying up, it's actually blending kind of nicely. You just got to remember to not, if you oversaturate it, like sometimes I'll just come in and keep blending and blending and blending and blending. So if you oversaturate it, it'll start doing all these little white dots and breaking up the paper. But for the most part, no, it is breaking up the paper on all of them. But this is, I mean, this is a pretty sweet transition. So I mean, that's some of the things that you got to remember, right? When you know, transitioning from something like these markers to a Shinhan Art Touch marker, the difference is that this doesn't happen, right? It doesn't beat up and break apart and stuff like that. So with that, you're like, oh, okay, now I can see the difference. You know, people always ask, well, what's the difference between getting some of these cheaper markers or getting expensive markers? And that's this, right? The consistency that they have does not destroy the paper or get these little beads, and there's nothing you can do about that. And if you want to make sure that you don't have that, you have to invest in something that is a little bit more expensive because they've worked out how that works. But I mean, that's a great transition, right? These markers are actually pretty good. They're pretty cool. I like them. But let's go ahead and draw something up. So we just got done playing around with the Arrtx ALP markers. Now, from what I gathered, they're actually not bad. I mean, for being a budget marker, okay? So this box of 80, right? So this box of 80 markers is on Amazon for $45. All right? That's insane. So you can get these markers, you can get a lot of markers for a little bit of money, so it's great. It's absolutely great for students and, you know, hobbyists who are trying to get in. But if you're trying to make this into a career, it's probably not going to be the best marker, solely because it starts picking up the paper. So it starts dissolving the paper, and that happens from the mixture, and whatever the mixture from the alcohol base that is happening, it starts like disintegrating the paper, and so you see all these little dots. The higher end marker that you have, that just doesn't happen. But this did, as you noticed, it did start happening the more you went over it, which is a downfall for that. And of course, the marker itself, so the color of the marker, when you put it down, once you went over it again, it like completely changed. Unlike really like higher end markers where it doesn't really get darker, it just saturates the paper, and then once it dries and if you went over it again, then it would actually change the color. With this, you put your marker down, and then the minute you put your marker down over it again, it gets darker. But that's it. Those are my only two gripes about this. The nibs were great. Both the bullet and the chisel were nice. The color came down really good. And if you only went over it once or twice, you'd still have some really nice colors that were from the marker. Like you saw it and you're like, that's the color this marker is. And one of the crazy things was once I finished, I realized that there was a colorless blender in there. So remember when we went and I was very impressed with the blend, right? Remember when I was very impressed? I was like, wow, look at that blend. That blend from orange to dark orange, that is nice, right? And we did that just with the marker. And at that moment I was like, oh man, but going over it's making it all darker. There's a colorless blender in there and it would have taken care of the whole thing. We could have just put those colors down, went over it with the colorless blender, bam, done. You can get such nice blends with the chisel. One of the biggest complaints that a lot of brush artists you have is the fact that their chisel, they can't really blend with it. This marker really allows you to blend. I mean, it allows you to blend really well. And it's, in my opinion, worth it. If you're going to do a budget marker set, and you're going, okay, well, I know I can get 80 markers for $23, and then there's this one for $45, you should get this one, right? Because those extra couple bucks are well worth it, okay? Absolutely worth it, and that's it. That's all there's to that. And yes, you know, paying a little bit more money is going to get you enough quality to where it will not just tear up your paper. It's not going to royally mess with the colors or going over stuff and anything like that. It worked well with inks. This is actually a good budget marker. So I do recommend these Arrtx ALP. I noticed online that they have a couple other ones. They have the Arrtx sketch markers. They have the regular Arrtx markers, which is cheaper than this. So you can get 80 markers for $27. And I firmly believe that there's a reason for that. But I'm probably more than likely going to try it out. And then I'll be able to tell you exactly how these things compare. Which brings me to something I'd like to ask all of you watching, is it worth it? Would you like me to do comparisons for an is it worth it type style video? Because if you want me to compare markers to each other, or why I think certain ones are better, or compare erasers or pencils and stuff like that, please let me know in the comments below, and I will consider putting that together. I'm really interested in this because Arrtx has put together, you know, 3-4 different types of markers, and I would like to see what the difference is and which one is actually worth it and which one you can be like, no. So please let me know in the comments. Once again, Arrtx 80 markers for 45 bucks. It's worth it. If you have a young person or someone who's just getting into it, get these markers. It gives them a very wide variety of markers to play around with and learn. And once they're like, yes, this is what I want to do for a living, this is great, then you can upgrade to some of the higher quality ones where you will be paying a pretty penny, but I guarantee you it's going to be worth it once you start getting into the more professional things, because you just don't want A, it to pull up your paper, or B, to start beating up and having all those white dots in it. And these lower end ones, that's what happens. So once again, is it worth it? Absolutely. If you are trying to either get started, or you're a hobbyist, or you just want to play around with it, you get a huge array of markers for a little bit of money, and definitely go out and pick it up. Well, I hope you liked this video, and I hope you learned something. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are not subscribed yet, please consider hitting the subscribe button and the bell so you know when I update my YouTube channel. Is It Worth It comes out every Friday, and I have other content coming out throughout the week. So please, please, please support this channel if you can. Thank you so very much for watching. And if you have any comments, or if you have any product that you'd like me to review, please drop me a comment and I will get to it ASAP. Thank you guys so very much, and I'll see you at the next video. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to check out some of my other videos, click on the link on your right. Or, if you're interested in a more behind the scenes and personal look at what I do on a day-to-day basis, please click on the link that leads you to the vlog. Thank you very much, and we'll see you at the next video.